We're just off of Centennial Olympic Park Drive at the home of the Falcons since 1992. It's the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Buffalo Bills and the Atlanta Falcons. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys, because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time. Caught. Kelsey, left side. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
This is taken around the 12. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. They come out here in the eye.
Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll run it here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Hey, watch 28. Single slots. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Goff now on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On first down, Goff. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Falcons. Their dangerous wide receiver, 65 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Watch 30. Single. Let's go. Blue line.
They'll drop to throw. Deep drop. Still back there. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target, and it's third down. We'll see Kelce in the slot to the left. Out of the gun now on third down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? Third and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's fielded at the 34. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run with the difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Off play action. Here's Goff. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
It fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is gone. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Goff now looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him. And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And they'll go on the ground. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. He was a second-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the second round. They got a steal with this player.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll give the Falcons a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a...
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to take this one back to the 37. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
No gain, and it's second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
They'll set up to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's got this one down to the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was kind of interesting. It appears this coaching staff really trusts this rookie early in his career. They want to get him a touchdown here in his NFL debut.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Bills draw a bit closer. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here again is the rookie Jared Goff to lead his offense back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
All right, here we go. 319. 319. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
They'll try the air now with Goff. Backing up. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. Third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about.
He's got a man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Finding time. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Here's Colton Schmidt now. He's been terrific so far. He's going to field this at the 4. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Their dangerous wide receiver, 95 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability.
I think we probably ought to avoid the tape review of this one, right? I mean, we don't want to sit in there and listen to what his teammates are going to say. He went that far and didn't score a touchdown.
Well, it's one where if they win, they poke the bear a little bit. If you don't win, it could be a sore subject. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 5.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. A hit as he throws there. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Falcons. Their dangerous wide receiver taking it in. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And here come the Bills. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll fight forward. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Defense showing blitz. They come out here in the eye. Back to the ground. This time it's Hillman. And he stopped immediately there. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 3rd down, Ronnie Hillman. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. So we've reached halftime here. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in 3rd and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in 3rd and manageable. They've got a chance at a 1st down.
Gone. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 2nd and 10, gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now back to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills, you want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough 3rd down awaits them.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. Now 4th down. And now the field goal team on for Buffalo. And this one is right through. And the Bills are forced to settle for 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And he rifles one incomplete. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. They come up in an offset eye. Now Goff. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you're worried about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like you did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter if they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right?
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The drive starts with a carry by Ronnie Hillman. Ronnie Hillman, nothing but green grass ahead of him. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Ronnie Hillman, 88 yards. And the Bills have cut it to within a score. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out and made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
All right, here we go.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And that will get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
319! 319! Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
third. Goff. From the left side, it's complete. It'll be a gain of 16 and give them a first down as well. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 3-19.
From the red zone now, Goff. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right, your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
That kind of loss of yards, that is usually an error by the guy carrying the ball. At the 1-yard line, you can't get too fancy there. You just got to try and plow forward and get what you can.
It's just a disaster. You go back to the 6 after you were at the 1. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal.
Let's go. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the fourth quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it?
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
They'll look to throw here. He's got time in the pocket. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, what was it, 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Colton Schmidt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is brought in at the 21. And some room to work. Touchdown, Falcons. Their dangerous wide receiver, 79 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. So they boost their advantage here in the 4th quarter. And don't get me wrong, you take the points. I guess the only downside is didn't really get to milk any of the clock here in this last quarter.
But they'll take the points because, as you and I both know, here in the 4th quarter, things intensify. And while they may not have taken firm command of the game, it does give them a little bit of a cushion.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little...
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it'll be a Buffalo first down. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there, and it's first down, Buffalo. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Going to throw right side here, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And the offense in that middle ground here on third down. 3rd and 5.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Back to throw again. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll look to throw again. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time. Great protection. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. There he goes left side. The 30, 20, 10, 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Now the point after try for Santos. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. A strong running. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now out come the Bills. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Marcel Darius in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Let's go!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Finding time. Under pressure, they got him again. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Out of the gun now on third down. He's going to let it fly. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Whoosh. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
23 yards on the play.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well. But they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.